Onwuchekwa for the Jackets. Both standing at 6'11". Lee Cassell with the tip, and off we go. Will it be Georgia Tech avenging last year's loss, or the Georgia Bulldogs picking up their first road win of the season? We'll look at the starters for the Yellow Jackets. We mentioned Onwuchekwa. The other four have started every game so far for Tech, and an alley-oop attempt, and Ndongo misses from close range. Here come the Bulldogs. Tyron Lawrence, transfer from Vanderbilt, now in his 5th season at the point for Georgia. Same starting 5 the Dogs have used all season long to the 3-0 start. Newell spins, floats, misses, but the tap in there from R.J. Godfrey.
UGA early on in the season, one of the best rebounding teams in the country on the offensive backboard. He's one of the guys Georgia Tech's got to keep off the glass, number 10.
Georgia averages 16 offensive rebounds per night. That's top 20 in the country. Feed down low to Ndongo, working on Godfrey. He muscles up and can't get it to fall. And here comes Georgia. This time Silas Demary, returning sophomore, all-SEC freshman team last year. Demary Jr. in the corner, and Nate George will be called for the contact. Georgia led by 3rd-year head coach Mike White. Took the job in Athens after 7 years at Florida, and as you can see, 3-time coach of the year in 3 different leagues. The WAC and Conference USA with Louisiana Tech, and led the Florida Gators to the Elite 8 back in 2017.
Yeah, and he's really starting to get traction on the recruiting trail here in the state of Georgia in the Southeast.
Asa Newell, perfect example of that, a top 15 recruit according to ESPN. And 5 seconds. Turnover, in Georgia Tech will get possession.
Georgia has great length and athleticism. They'll play man-to-man defense. They're going to shrink the gaps. They'll move when the ball's in the air to close out beyond the arc and contest 3-point shooters. A very tough team to score on in the half-court set. Ball movement will be key for Georgia Tech. Got to get the ball moving, can't let it sit.
They said Kane stepped out, so now Nate George down the lane, cross lane pass. Ndongo can't get it to go. First couple shots not falling for Baye. Second chance opportunity for the Yellow Jackets, and he's got a foul against the Bulldogs. Damon Stoudemire, his 2nd year as Georgia Tech's head coach. He was asked about his first encounter with Georgia last year, and he said, "I'm not sure I fully grasped the rivalry yet, but I can promise you I don't like losing, and I remember losing up there. It felt like we didn't play well, let the game get away from us early." And that was coming off wins over Mississippi State and Duke. Tech had a great week at home and then lost in Athens by 14. Down low, Ndongo's got the mismatch on Demary. George, top of the key 3. Won't fall. The Yellow Jackets now 0 for 4 from the floor to start.
What I like about their attack, they're going to their best player, Ndongo. He's touched the ball every time down the floor, just not converting.
Lawrence penetrates. Godfrey facing up. Onwuchekwa trying to contest, and he gets the rebound.
Onwuchekwa at 6'11", does not look like your typical freshman. He's wide body, physically ready to play, and you can see his length right there.
He's been billed as a great shooter, struggled to score thus far, but Kawasi Reeves with the first points for Georgia Tech. He's had 15 in every game so far this season for the Yellow Jackets.
Reeves, the junior now from Macon, started his college career playing for Michael White down in Florida.
And a pass from Demary picked up on Onwuchekwa. Can the Yellow Jackets get out and run? George taking on Lawrence, it won't fall. And it is staying with Georgia Tech.
Nate George right there, pushing in tempo here. We'll take a look at the last bucket. Kawasi Reeves, 2 dribbles, probes the defense. He's so athletic with that high release. That's a high percentage shot, but I like the pace of play he had there. Just letting the game come to him, Wiley.
He has improved tremendously in his 2 years at Georgia Tech. Shot over 40% from 3 in ACC play. Now Ndongo, again on Demary. He's got some space, goes up, and there's 2 for Baye Ndongo.
Well, no surprise, heavy emphasis on throwing the ball into Ndongo here to start this game.
Demary a pull-up 3. A foul on the rebound against Georgia and Blue Cane.
Georgia's going to look to pick up and extend the defense full court.
While both teams have scored over 80 points per game, I think both head coaches will tell you defense is where they have the most room to grow.
Which for most teams early in the year, you know, new combinations of players, trying to find the right rotations. Just a wonderful time for coaches to coach and teach using film. Stack those games in November, get tested. This is going to be a test for both teams tonight. Looking forward to see how this one plays out.
Ndongo walled off by Godfrey, 4 seconds to shoot. George off balance, has to get rid of it. Kwesi's got to go up, and Reeves' shot is too strong, a shot clock violation.
Blue Cane did a nice job staying with Kwesi on that, making it a difficult shot with the shot clock winding down.
Silas Demary, as we said, in his sophomore season, at the point for Georgia. Fed down low to Newell against Ndongo, and Ndongo with the block. First time we've seen them go head-to-head tonight. Ndongo wins round one. Javian McCullum, transfer from Oklahoma, led Tech in scoring their first 2 games. Now it's George. Nifty bounce pass on Onwuchekwa, works it through to Reeves. A 3, halfway down and out.
Nice vision by Nate there to just throw the pocket pass and then a quick reversal. One-timers. Very good offense. Couldn't find the answer on the 3 from the corner.
Demary takes the ball screen from Newell. It's Godfrey lowering the shoulder and can't get it to fall. You can see the physicality that Silas Demary plays with. Almost 5 minutes gone. Georgia Tech and Georgia. Clean old-fashioned hate. 200th meeting here in Atlanta. Classic. 18 lead changes, 11 ties. Ultimately, the Yellow Jackets, thanks to a 6-0 run, close it out with a 79-77 win. And Miles Kelly with the big bucket there at the end, John. But more times than not, these teams, they play it tight.
Yeah, and both teams struggling to shoot the ball from the perimeter in this one thus far. 1 of 6 from the field for Georgia Tech. 2 of 9 for Georgia Tech. 1 of 6 for Georgia. Collective 3 for 15. So a little bit of nerves early on in the rivalry match. What do you think, Wiley?
I think it's possible. As we said, 200th meeting. Georgia's had the better run of late, 6 out of 8. Lance Terry, by the way, just checked in for Georgia Tech. He is the only player for either side that played in that game 2 years ago. Just tells you about the roster churn. Of course, a few coaching changes since then. That was Mike White's first season. Damon Stoudemire was hired the following year. But between these two schools, you've got Georgia bringing in 5 transfers and Georgia Tech bringing in 4 and freshmen as well. A lot of turnover. And McCollum's shot blocked by LeFou, but we've got a foul called. And McCollum's going to have 3 free throws. What do you see here, John?
Yeah, behind the arc. LeFou gets hung up on the ball screen and then clipped the foot on the way down, it looks like. We'll get a really good look at it here. Yeah, you hit that right foot. So McCollum will go to the line for 3. The transfer from Oklahoma is off to a nice start this year.
Yeah, he's led Georgia Tech in 3-point shooting thus far. Began his career at Siena, where he shot over 40% from 3. And now we're getting a review here. Trying to confirm, I believe, whether this is a 2 or a 3.
From that angle, looked like he was beyond the arc, but that's from the baseline camera. Not sure if they have a different angle on that. Official crew tonight: Lee Castle, Pat Adams, and Jeb Hartness. Trying to get this one right early on. 2-point game. Barn burner, 4-2.
Yeah. Well, they will say it's a 2, so McCollum, his foot on the line. All Big 12 honorable mention last season. And he leaves the first free throw short. Luke O'Brien checking in for Georgia Tech. He did not play on Tuesday with a lower body injury. going to try and get it out tonight. John, we spoke to him before the game. He said, my parents are coming in town. He's from Colorado. I had to play. I had no choice. They said, you better be playing. We're on the plane.
He's a veteran guy. Ton of college minutes under his belt. Tough kid. He's a big part of the roster here for Coach Stalemate. Skilled big, had some toughness, some shooting, scoring and rebounding.
And Silas Demary races right down the right side of the lane. Picks up 2. We talked about both these offenses averaging well over 80 points a game. So far, it's been tough to break through. Ndongo finally gets one to fall. He's taken more than half of Georgia Tech's shots. Dakota LeFew, transfer from Mount St. Mary's, pestered by Reeves. Freshman Santo Surreal. With the ball in his hands, he goes up, and he'll head to the free throw line.
So another athletic big, 6'11" freshman from Nigeria by way of overtime elite. Played for Dave Lato, their former UVA coach, so we know he's got some great coaching under his belt. He does not look like a freshman at the line.
No, he does not. They called him Baby Shaq when he was at OTE. We're told he's already shattered a couple of backboards. Not sure we can confirm that, but that's the word on the street. And first free throw won't fall. Wow, neither team, John, able to find their shooting stroke here early.
Between Sompto and Asa Newell, that's 2 shot blockers. Rim, you're talking about rim protection. Those 2 guys are bringing it. Sompto is number 5 in the SEC in block shots, and Asa, as we said earlier on the open, is number 1 in the SEC. 2 of the top 5 shot blockers in that league on the same roster. Be tough to score on in the half court.
So I think that's one of the reasons Coach Stalemate told us they want to get out and run. You don't have to deal with that size if you can beat them down the floor.
Oh yeah, pace of play, tempo, trying to get some early offense, crucial for Georgia Tech.
Around the horn. Ndongo faces up on Cyril. He cuts it loose, and Newell with the rebound.
Solid defensive stand right on that possession by the Dogs.
Blue Kane, committed to Georgia Tech. Misses that 3-point shot. Cyril the offensive rebound. And Cyril gets in with the left hand. With Blue Kane, he was committed to Georgia Tech, but then the coaching change, Josh Pastner let go. He flipped his commitment to Georgia. He got the Yellow Jackets with 12 points last year in Athens. Luke O'Brien driving against Newell, kicks out. Ndongo really lost his hand. Reeves. And it's going to the Bulldogs. That's touched by the Yellow Jackets.
See on that possession there, the Bulldogs swarming defensively. Georgia Tech did a nice job moving the ball. It was not sticking, but Georgia, active hands, really moving when the ball's in the air. Here you see O'Brien, loose ball, could not secure it. He was the last one to touch it, so it looks like might have got away with one right there. We see that right hand come in
close.
Late, Wiley?
It was close.
Close. I think he hit it. Anyway, we're going the other way. The Dogs trying to take the lead.
Yeah, Demary slips and falls there, and Lance Terry going to get charged with the foul. You've got Terry and LeFew. They kind of play the same role, John, on their teams. You've got veteran players who come off the bench and wind up playing starters minutes.
Georgia's a team with great size, athleticism, not a tremendous three-point shooting team thus far this season. Just Dakota LeFew is kind of what you call a laser. You've got to know where he's at. He's 11 of 22 from beyond the arc. And then Tyron Lawrence, 5 of 10 from beyond the arc. But the rest of the roster, you're going to play them as drivers. So for Tech, you can really sag off the other players and moving the balls in the air, really clog in the paint, help down low.
5 seconds to shoot here. Demery's going to jack a 3. And a foul there against Cyril as he was bowling through a Yellow Jacket for the basketball. Blue Kane back on the floor.
Yeah, Blue's a guy that, you know, he just does a little bit of everything. High IQ, savvy, good team player. He's gonna put pressure on the defense when he has the ball as well off the bounce.
Today, George high off the glass. No, Onwuchekwa gets stapled to the backboard by R.J. Godfrey. There's that rim protection you were talking about, John.
They'll have multiple guys on the floor all night that can contest at the rim.
Luke O'Brien took a tumble. Rebound to Surreal, and at an awkward angle, he gets it to go.
Two gigantic freshmen going at it. Spirited battle in the paint.
A lot of size in this one, as we pointed out, and a lot of the freshmen. O'Brien gets a step on Godfrey, tries for the reverse. Surreal with it. Lawrence bringing it up. Georgia Tech missed the last 5 shots.
Bulldogs with a 2-point lead. Getting it done on the defensive end and securing the backboard. Block shots like that. Tough to score in the paint in this one. We'll be back in Atlanta. Dog.
This is their first test against another Power 4 opponent. How does that affect how these first 10 minutes have played out?
Yeah, the game's going to be played a little bit faster. Speed of the game. Obviously, it's starting to be a full house here on Cremen's court. So the fans, if you haven't played in front of a full crowd this season, some of the younger players might be a first for them. So got to work through the nerves.
Mustaf down the right side. And he draws the foul on Tyron Lawrence. Jaden Mustaf, freshman playing in his second game, suffered a wrist injury. Missed the last couple, but a good sign for Georgia Tech as they are getting a little healthier here with Mustaf and O'Brien coming back.
Yeah, Mustaf's a physical specimen of a wing for a freshman. He's athletic. He can guard multiple positions. Again, he was tested, battle tested for sure at OTE. Played against some high-level competition. They're really high on him in terms of being a contributor early on in this season, especially on the defensive side of the ball.
He is a downhill driver. Pretty much a perimeter scorer at this point in his career. And now trapped in the corner is George trying to fight through Kane. And a stay with Georgia Tech. For a moment they might have called a foul, but
the Bulldogs, a team that the entire bench is into it. They're focused, definitely a reflection of Michael White as we see him right there. Intense guy, pays attention to detail. A lot of lineage in the sports world through his family. Just the ultimate competitor, and you can see it on the Bulldogs bench right down here on the right.
2 seconds on the shot clock. George can't get him to go to the O'Brien, get rid of it. They're going to take a review. To the naked eye, John, I didn't think he got it off.
I was taking a screen by Coach White, so I'm going to have to look at the replay myself.
The previous made basket is under review for a potential shot clock violation.
I'll tell you what, I didn't see the red go up on the backboard, did you?
I didn't see it go around the backboard.
The red LED that's usually inside the square. Maybe it's not functioning.
Yeah, I saw it go off on the shot clock. You almost got to look in the reflection here. Yeah.
After further review, shot clock violation, no basket.
No basket. We caught it right leaving the screen there, the frame. Confirmed on the court. Good hustle on the offensive glass. That's what he can do for this team, is pound the backboard, manufacture some easy offense off the glass. Brian's a good player.
Played 4 years at Colorado, a couple NCAA tournaments. Had a couple teammates taking the top 15 picks of the draft last year, Cody Williams and Tristan Da Silva. So played with a lot of talent, but because that basket doesn't count, it's closing in on a 4-minute scoring drought for Georgia Tech. And Savo Drezgic, freshman from Serbia, has come on and handles the ball for Georgia.
This era of basketball, we're 10 minutes in, we have not seen a three-pointer made by either team. It's unusual.
Loose ball on the floor, O'Brien battling for it. It'll be a jump ball. It'll belong to Georgia.
It's those plays right there, Wiley. The 50-50 balls, the hustle, the ability to make those plays. How about the behind-the-back pass right there by the Serbian?
Godfrey fired up. He's played in this building a couple times before at Clemson. And a couple of wins over Georgia Tech when he was with the Tigers. Blue Kane in the corner, that's his spot. Justin Absent down the lane. Gustav coming over to help. Nice spin move from Absent. The transfer from App State's on the board.
He's got the ball fakes going right there. He had the Yellow Jackets defense looking elsewhere, selling the fake.
Just his second basket of the season. Where can Georgia Tech go to find some offense? Gustav driving downhill, and he is wiped out. Georgia wants to run in transition. Here comes Kane, and contested and fouled by Lance Terry.
It's what both teams are capable of doing, athletic, getting stops. Here you see nice athleticism. A block from behind the play, Godfrey. Terry gets him on the arm. Ndongo and Godfrey were right there to clean it up. That's what we're going to see. You know, both teams can push in transition. They're getting stops. We're going to see a lot of high-flying action. Who can finish in traffic? Who can make free throws?
Last year, Blue Kane carved up the Jackets for 12 points on 4 3-pointers. And his name really is Blue. That is his middle name. His father played golf at Duke, and, well, he had a lot of school pride. First name Christopher.
Hey, let's just call him Blue, man. Dukies. Good player.
Tremendous shooter, and we had a chance to talk to Coach White today. He has gotten off to a slower start from beyond the arc this year than what we saw last year with Coach White.
It's 2 of 12. But, you know, it's going to work out the kinks. It's early on in the season.
Coach White told us just wants to focus on defense and rebounding. I have no doubt that number will be close to 40% as Nate George hits the mid-range.
The Yellow Jackets were trailing by 6. They needed that one to stop the bleeding. They were in a serious scoring drought. Dogs run a 9-0 run leading up to that one.
That 9-0 run about 5 minutes. Points been hard to come by. Newell against Ndongo, works it back outside. Drezgic. And he walked with it. Shuffling those feet. Turnover gives the Yellow Jackets the ball. One more look at Nate George's jump shot here.
Nice change of direction right there. I think working with a guy like Stoudemire, Coach Stoudemire, former great point guard in the NBA, helps Nate out a little bit. He's got a nice change of pace, Wiley. You know, his ability to just shake the defender. Eyes are up here. Finish. Georgia, you look good there, buddy. Maybe look good. Keep it in your hand. Keep doing it, bud.
Georgia took away Ndongo. So Nate George went to the hole. He had 16 points his last time out, by far a season high. We're going to foul away from the ball here going against Georgia Tech.
He plays with such a great pace. You know, he's got his eyes up. He sees the D. And you see that little explosion at the end, just enough to get it. And he's typically a pass-first guard. He's one of the best assist-to-turnover ratio guys in the ACC this season. Last year was ranked 2nd in the ACC in assists per game.
So he takes a seat. And now the 2 point guards on the floor, Javian McCollum and Lance Terry. You're going to see that from Georgia Tech for as long as Damon Stoudemire is the head coach. 2 point guard system. Similar to what he ran when he was a senior at Arizona with Khalid Reeves.
Not a bad roster. Lute Olson had assembled there. For about 3 decades, he was winning 20-plus games.
3 seconds to shoot. Demary with the teardrop.
Demary was named the SEC's all-freshman team last season.
Reeves goes baseline. Over Kane, it's short. So far, it's been more of a half-court game. And a turnover, Absent. This pass leaked right through Demary.
Yeah, Demary took his eyes off it the last minute, sailed out of bounds off his fingertips.
Are we at the point where you feel like some of the feeling out process is over. And
yeah, I still think the pace of play right now favors the Bulldogs based on their length and size. We've seen the shot blocking ability of this team, and I think for Tech, try to manufacture some more early offense, but you got to get stops to do that, get out and run.
O'Brien down the baseline. Terry pops a three. Still looking for our first three-pointer tonight by Ndongo. He can't hit the elbow jumper.
Well, they're getting high percentage looks, but just 5 of 22 from the floor, 23% for the Jackets.
Offensive foul on Cyril, but Georgia with the early edge, 15-11. The Yellow Jackets got to find their shooting stroke.
UGA is +6 points in the paint, +6 advantage over the Jackets. But for the Dogs, they've got 5 turnovers to Tech's 2, and no one has made a 3-point field goal. Collective 0 of 8. The Dogs 0 of 5 from beyond the arc, and Georgia Tech 0 for 3.
J.V. McCollum guarded closely by LeFew. Penetrates in, alley-oop to Ndongo, and he misses.
Ndongo now 2 of 9 from the floor, but I mean, I think if you're Georgia Tech's coaching staff, that's where you want the ball going. It's a high percentage shot. You've got to find a way to convert.
And Luke O'Brien denies Newell. Yellow Jackets back into the half court. We were talking during the break. You're getting the looks you want. Luke O'Brien, bullseye!
Well, he took that one with some confidence. Terry, the drive, collapse the defense, kick out. O'Brien, no hesitation, lets it fly. Transfer from the Colorado Buffaloes. Puts a 3 in. First one of the game for either opponent.
Dakota LeFew answers at the rim. And again, LeFew picks up McCollum. He didn't shoot it like a guy who's 1 for 7 from three-point range this year. And McCollum can't hit. Long rebound.
But again, for the Jackets, that one was, woo, Blue Kane above the rim, takes the contact from O'Brien, will get the foul.
Starting to see a little bit of offensive rhythm here, John. First, the three-pointer from O'Brien.
Yeah, Asa, freshman, got hung up on the screen on the baseline. O'Brien made him pay, but UGA was right back at him. LeFew at the rim. That one's too easy. Coach Stoudemire can't be happy with that. You work your butt off for a 3, and then you give up a layup at uncontested off 2 passes.
And for the first time this year, Blue Kane misses a free throw. He was 12 for 12 beginning this trip. Nate George back in. Lance Terry takes a seat with 2 fouls. O'Brien going to stay on the floor with his 2 fouls for the time being.
Getting loud in here, Wiley. Jackets fans picking it up. 2-possession game, Dogs by 4.
Part of a 7-game homestand for Georgia Tech, but I think everyone knew when they saw this game on the calendar, that'd be the first big crowd of the season for Georgia Tech. I try to call for an off-ball screen. And stolen away by Newell. He's got the launch codes and a dunk. Asa Newell's on the board.
Nice job by the freshman shooting the gap. Great anticipation defensively. 7-foot wingspan. He just shot the lane. 1 dribble from half court and he was airborne.
Kawasi Reeves, he can't get the three-pointer to fall, and it'll stay with Georgia Tech.
Godfrey was not happy with that. He thought Ndongo was the last one to hit it. Here, we'll get a look at it right there, the freshman. Great anticipation, telegraph pass. You don't see that a lot by Nate. But boom, lefty. Tough.
Six-point lead for Georgia. McCollum falling away. Tough shot. Demary the rebound, and now the Dogs can run again. Back to Newell. Mishandling the pass. And it's stolen away by Georgia Tech. And now it's the track meet. George rejected Godfrey. Says, get that out of here.
George had a tap dance right through there. A little spin dribble. Got denied.
McCollum and LeFew were tied up. Take a look at RJ Godfrey one more time.
Right here, he's just hunting it down. Boom. He's tracking. Sick him, dog. Boom. Godfrey, he's a guy that does a little bit of everything. He can guard multiple positions. He's a physical specimen. Really great guy going downhill and on the offensive boards. If you don't put a body on Godfrey, he's going to make you pay. He's just a good all-around player in the ACC.
Georgia's lead 7, largest of the night so far, and Godfrey with all 3 blocks tonight for Georgia. One of the more physical players on the floor. Coach Stalemate telling his guys earlier today, if you're going up against Godfrey, you've got to match the physicality because he's going to bring it.
Dogs on a 7-0 run in the last 90 seconds of this contest. Georgia Tech needs a bucket right here. They're taking high percentage shots, so really struggling from the floor. Credit Georgia just being active defensively. They've got really active hands.
They're getting a little more active in the passing lanes now. George, a 3-ball. No. LeFew controls the rebound. Georgia Tech shooting nearly 20% from the field. On the other end, LeFew's 3 won't fall. Then Ndongo with the rebound.
It's one of those 50-50 balls. Georgia Tech comes down with it, and they'll get a foul in transition. Wasey took a shot from LeFew.
They call a foul there? I don't think they did.
Oh, wow. You tell me. Nobody? It was deflected and the ball hit out of bounds before the contact, so no foul on the play. It's a rivalry game. They're going to let him play.
Tough inbounds pass. J.V. McCollum up against Asa Newell, but he gets it in. Onwuchekwa takes it to the top of the arc. Closeout by Lawrence off the screen. And McCollum contending that Lawrence tipped it, but it's Georgia basketball.
Yeah, Lawrence, a nice job being just active with his hands. He's got great length, forces the turnover. Georgia Tech got stuck there, you know, just playing east to west ball for like 10 seconds at the top of the key. They've got to find a way to get north to south, get the post touch, get some dribble drive situations going.
Second 7-0 run of the night. LeFew, no, and the 3-ball not falling for Georgia. They missed their first 7. They were hitting those. Georgia Tech would be in real trouble. Looking for Ndongo on the alley-oop, and it's picked off by Newell.
Yeah, LeFew had 11 out of 22 from beyond the arc coming into this one.
Newell, count the basket. And the freshman's getting that motor running now.
Damon Stoudemire's seen enough. He wants to huddle his team and regroup. Plenty of time left to play in this one, but Georgia pulling away right now, up 10 on Kremen's court here in Atlanta.
That junior year, he just took off, drafted 4th overall. He credits Bobby Cremens for getting him into physical shape after that sophomore year. We'll have a chance to catch up with Dennis at the start of the second half. There's Coach Cremens.
He is the legend, Kremen's court. If your name's on the court, you did something.
I think I saw Babel Sharpie somewhere in the baseline. Onwuchekwa, 4 for the Yellow Jackets. They got to find something offensively. It's been a tough go of it. Ndongo, there it is. Baye now with 6 points.
That was a great possession coming out of dead ball. They had the discipline to go north to south, get in the cracks, and get it to their best player in the paint.
And a jump ball call. Ndongo got his paws on it. It'll be Georgia Tech basketball. Coach Damon Stoudemire probably not happy with those drives coming down the lane, John. That really bit them last week against North Florida.
Yeah, that'll be key. You don't want to give up dribble drives, especially to an athletic team, because even if you don't score on the first, the breakdown in the defense with an offensive rebounding team like this, protecting the paint and limiting dribble drives is crucial.
Georgia +7 on the glass so far, and another block. That time Jaden Mustaf snuffed out by Abson. Swung around to Demary. Freshman on freshman, Newell kicks it out. Tyron Lawrence, tough shot. And the tip back won't fall for Abson. And they're going to get Onwuchekwa for the offensive foul.
That's a savvy play by the guard Lawrence right there. He's made 2 great defensive plays. He had the steal, where he actually forced the turnover at the top of the key, and then right there, savvy play. Takes the contact, takes one for the team. Those are winning plays that no one is really, they're just casual plays of the game, but they add up. You stack those in a game, you're going to win a close one.
First year at Georgia for Lawrence, spent 4 years at Vanderbilt. But he's from Georgia originally, won a state championship at Jonesboro High School, just down the road here from Atlanta. Cool opportunity to wrap up his career playing for Georgia. Tall alley-oop, and Surreal couldn't quite palm it. 2.5 to play, first half, and Yellow Jackets still within single digits despite struggling mightily offensively. Mustaf's 3, an air ball.
Like you said, he sat out with injury. He's a little rusty. Had his first 2 drives blocked and then was a little bit short on that when he's playing with a taped up thumb.
Absent on Onwuchekwa. Team's a little scattered offensively right now. Kane takes it himself. And a grown man rebound, and it goes down. And there's a no basket.
They're going to wave it off for over the back. Is that what we got?
Well, I think
Michael White saying there was verticality. Let's see. We got to look at it. Boom. He did get away with the push in the back. Hits elbow on the way down. Regardless of what happened right there, Cyril demonstrating his athleticism, his toughness, his physicality. Michael White, what's going on here, Wiley?
Yeah, it's no foul. I think they're ruling that Cyril was affected the rim as it was coming down. Let's see if they have to review that play.
No points on the board,
yeah.
but we saw there was a demonstration of an athletic specimen of what Cyril is for this UGA staff. I mean, physical, banging, goes up above the rim, trying to dunk on Ndongo. That's a good-looking freshman Michael White's got in the program.
You can see what they called him Baby Shaq in overtime elite. And the runner won't go from a column. Georgia Tech. Only 7 made baskets here in the first half. 3-pointer for LeFew. No. Georgia continues to struggle from beyond the arc. Mustaf rips away the rebound. He's taking on Kane. And a foul call to go to the line. Oh, out of control there.
But that's all right. It's defense and energy and effort. Mustaf right here. Boom, let me get that. I'm competing, I'm going. And then he makes a play out of nothing. Gets tripped up at the end of the play. That's the way to battle back. You know, blocked twice early on in this one, shoots an air ball, but the effort, the energy, that's what they love about this kid. He's just got to get minutes, got to get repetition. At the line for a chance. Close the gap. Georgia's been in control of this one.
Some might remember his father, Gerard, who was a star at Maryland. Went on to play in the NBA, but an all-ACC player with the Terps in the late 80s. And some also might know that Gerard passed away less than a month ago, just before the season began. So Jaden playing with a heavy heart, we're sure. He hits the second. What do you think, John? First to 40 tonight?
You know, they're taking good shots, so you got to think they're going to fall. I mean, both teams have guys that are capable of knocking down shots.
Lisa Newell can't hit the 3. Georgia 0 for 9.
You know, 3-point shooting, I think, will be the Achilles heel, because when you play against length and good defensive teams and scouts, there's usually only 2 guys on the floor that are knockdown 3-point shooters. You know, your lasers, you got to find them when they cross half court. You're going to have a tough time from beyond the arc.
Mustaf trying to break down Demary. O'Brien, he's hit 1 tonight.
Georgia will win with defense, heart, and toughness, though. If they can gel as a team and bring that every night, they're going to be in most games.
Newell, does he get continuation? No, he does not. Foul is on Ndongo. Regardless of the call, Newell shows those NBA scouts a little something here.
Oh, yeah, there's a reason they're here. Look at this. Take the contact, bangs Ndongo, finish with the left in traffic. I believe these guys are crushing.
2 shots coming from Newell.
Lisa Newell and Santos Cyril, look out. Not sure those guys will be around the college game too much longer.
Georgia now 7 for 10 at the free throw line tonight. Georgia Tech's just 2 of 4.
Georgia Tech 1 of 9, 11% from beyond the arc, and like you said, Georgia yet to make a 3, 0 for 9. So Georgia's winning the battle on the defensive side of the ball tonight, +8. Offense nowhere to be found, and no one's letting the dogs out at the free throw line either.
Newell misses them both. And now a foul here on Dylan James on the rebound. That'll be 1-1 for Georgia Tech.
Sometimes that's what it takes to get going, you know, a lull in the action, get your confidence at the free throw line, manufacture some offense out of nothing.
Both these teams, John, we did not expect this coming in. Scoring over 80 points in each of their 3 games. Maybe some nerves, maybe some stiffer competition defensively.
It's high-level ball. I mean, you got your Big Four conference, you got your recruits, you've got a crowd in the building. It's Friday night, long week of classes. It's going to shake off the rust, but I think the speed of the game's a little different tonight. The energy in the building's different for everyone on the floor. A lot of these guys are young guys for Georgia.
Freshman bigs missing free throws here in the final minute. That's a rebound, though, for the Jackets.
Dennis Scott's not walking through that door.
not with shorts and shoes on. And at the end of the shot clock, LeFew fouls McCullum. That's a bailout, John.
Yeah, Tech will have a chance. Can they capitalize? Yet to do so. Georgia's a team that's going to play physical brand of basketball. They're going to make it hard every possession. And when you go to the free throw line, you're fortunate enough to get there. You've got to make the defense pay. Combs a guy that can do that.
It's the first. Yeah, he set a school record for the Sooners last year at the free throw line, shooting 94%.
Another good former Yellow Jacket out of Oklahoma that shot good at the free throw line. A guy named Mark Price, his numbers hanging in the rafters. Mark led the NBA in percentage from the free throw line for years. I think J.J. Redick broke his record one season, but 2 guys coming from Oklahoma to Atlanta, making their mark on the game.
Mark Price here tonight, here to celebrate Dennis Scott's jersey's retirement.
What a guard he was. Cleveland Cavs, man, if Jordan wasn't there in Chicago, that team with Kerr and Elo and Doherty, Ron Harper, Mark Price at the point, would have seen them in the title game, I believe.
Kane can't hit the 3. 3 seconds to go. Ahead to O'Brien. He's got to let it go. And lost track of the clock. He was looking for the alley-oop to Suare. Well, John, 20 minutes of a rock fight. It's competitive. The Yellow Jackets cold all half long, thanks to tough Georgia defense. May not be high scoring, but there's blood in the water. Jackets and Bulldogs, 200th all-time meeting. 6-point margin at the half. Asa Newell.
So, you know, doing the undergrad and the master at the same time was challenging, but when you lock in, put in the work, everything like tonight was worth it.
Asa Newell, a big dunk to begin the second half. What was the motivator for you to go back and finish your degree all these years later?
All about my mom. And I tease her now. I was at the nursing home earlier today, and I wanted to bring her, but she just got out the hospital. I didn't want to be greedy. So the nurse said, well, you can take her, but all that stimulation, people coming up to her, the pictures, I said, you know what? I'll take a picture, put it on social media. There, you know. She said, baby, have fun. I just don't want to be in front of all those people. When your mom challenges you to do something, you can't make no more excuses.
Hey man, congratulations, you did it. What an honor, well deserved. You built this place. I mean, coming on the heel, Mark Price is here today, you know, the Price Sally teams, Dalrymple, and then you come in, Lethal Weapon 3. What's it mean to come back here knowing that you're such part of this rich tradition, and where do you see the future of this game? Like, you have a son at Georgia State, scholarship freshman. What's the future of Georgia Tech basketball, grassroots ball in Atlanta? What's your feel?
Grassroots in Atlanta is off the chains right now.
Yeah.
And I think Damien's doing an excellent job. When you look at this, I'm trying to do a review on the screen right here.
These are two great sophomores, too, by the way.
Yes, indeed. I think it might be a moving screen.
Georgia Tech just can't catch a break, man.
No, tonight. Came by a 3, came by an open shot. But to answer your question, babe, was that I think Damon's doing an excellent job connecting to the community and making sure. Okay, here we go.
Basket is not good. Foul on Georgia. White ball with 20 seconds on the shot clock.
So it's going to be a foul on the Dogs. They will not give them the continuation of the shot. That'll be on Silas Demary.
So they're going to take that 3 off the board.
Correct.
So finish answering the question is that now it's up to Damon to get. Let's get one more look at this for fans. Comes off the screen. Moving foul. Yep. Kind of holding it up. Now, we didn't have review back when we played.
Man, no replay. Well, you wouldn't have taken 3 dribbles. You would have shot it from a G.
Exactly right. But no, I just think Damon's heading in the right direction. It's about recruiting. And I say it all the time. You have to have horses. I don't care what sport it is, you got to have horses, and then you put the complementing players around them and you go win.
And speaking of that, Georgia Tech's main horse right there, Ndongo, took a fall.
Ouch.
You got to earn it at the rim right there. Godfrey, clean, hard foul, but worried about the big man. He came down on the hip.
At first, I thought it was a little worse than it was, but that's not that bad.
You've had a couple of those.
Yeah, you're having a sore tush in the morning.
Speak from experience.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's up walking. He's fine.
Yeah, he's fine. He's tough. But I like what this Damon's doing. Uh-oh, wait a minute. We get a little testy.
Oh,
A little testy.
Damn it. Dennis, you played in a couple of these clean old-fashioned hay. It can get testy out there, can it?
It can, and I tease these young guys. I say, guys, y'all have to get this rivalry back like it used to be. You know this. I never played here. So I was teasing the fan walking in. I'd never been to Athens, ever, because I never had to play there. We always played at the Omni.
Yep.
So we sold 15, 16,000. That's when the rivalry was more basketball than football. Well, we know football is what it is. I'm not going to deal with that. So I'm sorry, fan. I'm not. We know football. Y'all still run things. I don't want to get mad at us.
There you see J.B. McKinney having that breakout season.
They're being challenged. And I say this to people, God gave me a gift. I knew I could outshoot anybody in 5th and 6th grade. So you know how after practice you throw the ball off the back where everybody's trying to dunk and do all that? I was never one of those kids because I knew I wasn't super athletic. So I always shot the ball. And then Bobby said, you're fat. I said, Bobby, I'm averaging 21, 6, and 6. First team, second team, all ACC, all of man. What are you talking about? You can be better. He was right.
Yeah, you're right. Talk about the value of coaching. I saw you post on social media about the legendary Stu Vetter, who you played for. What did that mean to you? How did that catapult you into just confidence, belief, like the value of being around a guy, a legendary coach like Stu Vetter?
Great players want to be coached. Great players want to be challenged. And that goes a great question for our new viewers. People forget I went to a public school first, did whatever I wanted to do, barely went to class, but then I go to Flint Hill. It's accountability.
After further review, we have a single foul on red 10 that has been upgraded to a flagrant 1 foul. White will get 2 shots and ball.
So there you have it, flagrant on Godfrey, so they saw that contact to the forehead.
Yep. Once again, not the intent, but it wouldn't get dunked on, and the foul people trying to block the shot, contact the head. So it's the accountability, to finish answering your question, it's the accountability that great players want to be held to. And then when you see that happen, now the coach knows he has you. You know he has you. That's where that cliche comes from. Well, he'll run through a wall for that coach. Well, that coach has proven that he's going to put him in successful situations so he can look good.
Ndongo hits the first free throw. I'm curious, what have you seen from Baye Ndongo and Asa Newell tonight? Those are 2 pretty high-profile prospects.
Super athletic. Finesse, where I played with Tom Hammond. That was, oh, brute, baby. That's brute, baby. I'm down low, baby. So this game has changed a lot of threes. But I like what Baye has shown us, that he still can put the ball on the floor, 2 or 3 dribbles, get to a good spot, and finish the play.
And you run a ton of NBA basketball. Obviously, the analytics, the threes from the corner, the transition buckets, not a lot of mid-range basketball. What's the difference between the college game? I mean, can you win just attacking the basket, taking 50% twos, or is it going to be a 3-point game? Is that where the game's going? What's your thought?
I think the biggest thing people have to understand is what is the kid's skill set. Like we had DeMar DeRozan in NBA TV the other night, and he still doesn't take threes unless he's wide open or unless the shot clock's under 5 seconds. That's why he's great. He's not buying into the movement. So if that's not what you do, why force it?
Yeah. It's a team sport. 5 guys buying in and knowing their role, I think trumps the analytics any day of the week.
Well, 4-point possession there for Georgia Tech with the flagrant and the bucket. And one more look here, Nate George taking the ball to the hoop.
I love Nate. I love his confidence. I'm happy he was patient the first few games last year. But I put pressure on him. I said, Nate, I used to see you in the gym late at night at Georgia Tech. How come I haven't seen you late? I need you getting up shots. I know you can get to the basket. I know you can pass. But for this team to win, he has to make open jump shots consistently.
Yeah, we've seen him a few times early on this season. He's a pass-first guard, but he's knocked down some triples. You can tell he's working on it.
Yes.
He needs to build off of that.
Exactly. There's that big, strong joker.
Yeah, Godfrey got it over on Weckett, but could not get it to sink. So a little bit of momentum coming here for Georgia Tech.
Oh, if Georgia Tech can get 1 or 2 buckets, 2 or 3 stops in a row, it's a 1-2 possession game. Georgia's a team that struggles from beyond the arc. They're 0 of 10 in this game right now. If Georgia Tech can just get momentum, get the crowd back into it, this will be an interesting game down the finish.
Well, to that point, just really keep eye on Blue Kane. Don't let him get a wide open 3 because he's the only one that really, can knock down a shot and really get hot. Other than that, you got to stay physical with him.
No, Dennis, in a game like this, in this environment, it's a game of will. Like, who's going to give the energy? Who's going to get him fired up? It takes one guy to really step up and just change the game, change the energy in the building.
So what do you remember playing in this game in the Army?
It's, I think the first year was a buzzer beater, Anthony Sherrod. And I think we lost my sophomore year. Then, of course, the junior year, we wore him out.
Well, then that first year we were gone, your buddy Brian DeMalik hit a big shot.
Yes. He had 2 big shots, yes. He had 2 big shots.
Kane off balance and won't fall.
I just love a good rivalry. I'm glad this one's starting to get better.
Yeah, nothing better than a good rivalry game on a Friday night in Atlanta, watching some hoops, start the weekend off.
George weaving in.
We got a heavyweight battle going on. We got Iron Mike Tyson coming back tonight, too. I know that.
I'm praying for him. He's too old.
I think he's taking a paycheck, though. I'm
surprised he passed the medical. He's a little older now, Mike. I love you to death now.
Blue Kane just took one on the chin right there, but Georgia Tech gets the foul. Yellow Jacket faithful not happy about that one. Mike White trying to find rhythm offensively with his team. They're struggling.
The tensions have risen considerably. Dennis, what do you think ultimately decides this game tonight?
Rebounding and making an open shot. Like right here. See that draw and kick action?
Yep. The Fu goes baseline, and he'll go to the free throw line.
Now, as a basketball play, you will take it, but draw and kick, you're ready to shoot. Now you still attack the paint, you get to the free throw line, you get a foul for Tech.
And the Fusa guy, the transfer, 100+ starts under his belt. He was a staple for the Mount St. Mary's program the last 4 years. Not known as a shooter, but more of a facilitator, although he has hit some threes early on in this season.
Yeah, he played a game at Stegman Coliseum last year as a visitor, Dennis. He dropped 26 points. The next year he's playing for the Dogs.
Yeah, this transfer portal thing, I got mixed feelings about as well. I mean, I'm all for your opportunity, but hopefully guys can pick. See, look at that. It's hard. Like, my heart goes out to Mike White. How do you build culture bringing in 5 guys coming from 5 different other cultures? Either they didn't like, they weren't playing that much, right? So how do you get them to buy in and you bring in a freshman like, well, like he's a stud? I feel for these coaches today going through.
Yeah, it's very rare to see programs anymore being built. It's teams being built year by year. You're essentially a GM with no salary cap in the Big 4 conferences. And you said it, Dennis. How do you build culture around that? It's musical chairs. It's roster management at the highest level, and the portal and the NIL, I don't see it changing anytime in the near future.
He has to make that. Those are the type of shots you got to make.
Been so hard for Georgia Tech to make those tonight, but the freshman Onwuchekwa count the basket.
The big freshman staying active, big hands, soft touch. David Sotomayor said he really likes this guy's ability to stretch the floor. Once he gets his feet underneath him, gets used to the pace of play, gets some repetition, he's a guy that can stretch the floor, but he's a young freshman. He's got to get used to playing in front of crowds, get used to the pace of the game.
How long did it take you to adjust to the college game when you got to campus?
Well, I didn't know this, Babel. I think I adjusted pretty well because they said my first ever game I got a triple-double.
That's not bad.
I didn't know that.
See?
That worked out all right.
Right? So then what happened was Bub Carrington last year, he was at Pitt. He played his first game, he got a triple-double. He's like, oh, Bub Carrington's the first one in ACC, has the first to play his very first game.
Yeah.
They said, well, who's number one? And they said it was me. I said, I had no idea.
Now, was Kenny with you your first year?
No, that was Craig Noodles Neal.
Noodles.
And then now the story, come on, transition 3, my favorite.
Craig Neal's doing great things on the bench in Nevada. He associate head coach with Steve Alford.
So that night, come on, Terry, there you go.
Oh, we got a ball game now here.
Draw, kick, shot making, good basketball.
It's a one-possession game. It'll be back and forth all the way down the stretch. That's what Georgia Tech needed.
Huge answer from Demary.
Right back.
That's been a challenge for Georgia Tech at times this year, trying to slow down the dribble penetration. Yellow Jackets started with 9 points. Far cry from where they were in the first half. McCollum rattles it home.
That's what I'm telling you, man. Rebounding and shot making in college basketball is at a premium.
The shot making, we appreciate you coming by. I mean, no one better in the Yellow Jackets history has made shots like you, man.
How much I love you, baby.
Newell gets his own miss near midcourt. But Dennis, it has been a pleasure. It was a joy watching you.
It's good hanging out with you,
address
too,
the crowd.
I like your work, too. Keep it up.
And I'm happy your family got to see that. Your kids seeing you in this moment, because you were the man.
That was huge. It was huge. It was huge. It's fun, man.
I think that's awesome.
He checked.
Legs, just legs, you know?
Yeah, but those are the shots you got to make.
For the time being, the roof is still attached.
Oh, that place goes crazy.
LeFew dumps it off. Surreal elbows George, no whistle.
A lot of contact.
Go get it.
Terry saves it. Say, well, we got 15 more minutes left. This is going to be a lot of fun and very physical. George catching his breath. Onwuchekwa.
That's what
he
we
hit
want.
it.
That's the big guy. He's got the confidence going. Hit a couple free throws early. Got the putback, and now he stretches the floor. Let it fly. Hold it up, right, D. Scott?
Dennis, thank you for joining us.
Love you, man. Appreciate you, man.
A special night. Dennis Scott having his jersey retired. And the first career 3 for Doryan Onwuchekwa. Fire the Yellow Jackets from beyond the arc. 3 triples in a 2-minute span, John.
And a night where they hang Dennis Scott's number in the rafters, he called it. He said, we need shot makers. And right now, Georgia Tech knocking down the triples.
The Yellow Jackets, their first lead since it was 7-5. And look at the first half comparison. We've played only 5.5 minutes so far in the second half, and Georgia Tech feeling much more confident offensively. Now, there's a little bit of housekeeping we got to do. We had offsetting technical fouls between McCollum and Lawrence during that skirmish at the start of this second half. And one other note, Georgia had 8-point lead at halftime. They changed the basket interference that was originally called against Surreal, and they assessed it to Ndongo. So that is why Georgia had 27 points starting the second half. So that's out of the way. We got 14.5 minutes of a big-time rivalry. Prime time in Atlanta.
Georgia's got to get something going to the rim, just like that.
And Surreal misses. Second chance, and LeFew can't get it. Ndongo rips away the board.
Georgia got a great look right there. Dribble drive penetration, just could not finish.
Nick O'Brien thought about getting in on the three-point act. Back up top to George. Shot clock at 6. McCollum, step back. It won't fall.
Got a good look. Shook Blue Kane with the step back, just couldn't convert.
Blue Kane trying to shake George now. Got a foul away from the ball. Foul coming on Luke O'Brien. Will step aside. Georgia trying to respond.
Done, and that's where they're really going to get the rhythm. Although they're 0 of 13 from beyond the arc, if they can score at the rim, they can collapse the Georgia Tech D and possibly, like Georgia Tech just did, drop a couple triples. But Michael White needs valiantly an effort from his perimeter to just get 1 or 2 for him. They're 0 of 13. That's a tough night. Credit Georgia Tech's defense.
Yellow Jackets have erased an 8-point deficit at the half. Their first lead since it was 7-5.
Georgia only has 3 assists in the game, so a team that, you know, they're going to go off the bounce, they're going to manufacture dribble drives, and then the offensive putbacks is where they're dangerous as well. But
when you're 0 for 14 from 3, that's going to put a damper on the potential assist too.
3 assists with 13 minutes to go.
McCollum, alley-oop, Ndongo draws a foul. Godfrey got a piece of him.
Coach White on the sideline not happy. Hit about a 24-inch vert, knees to the chest, slam on the floor. I think he thought it was vertical, but there's some body right there. He gets the arm right on the right. Nice effort though by Godfrey. He saved a bucket on that play, just caught the arm on the way down. He's a competitor. I love his game. I love what he brings to the table. Gets to the next play, plays hard basketball. He's got winning DNA.
Ndongo, the game's leading scorer, with 9 points now.
Ndongo finds a way. Preseason second team all ACC selection. Guy that's athletic, wiry, runs rim to rim, can catch the alley-oop. He's been working on his perimeter game, stretch the floor.
Makes both free throws. Baye, last couple times out, hit his free throws, 12 for his last 14 after really struggling early this year and most of last season. And Demary tries to go around Terry, and they'll catch Terry on the foul. Third foul on Terry. Foul trouble could be a potential issue. 4 of the 5 Jackets on the floor right now have 3 fouls.
Georgia baseline out of bounds right now. They like to do this triangle set, a lot of screen-the-screener action. They look for the slipper, so like the second screen, they'll try to go right to the rim with it.
Demary gets some space around McCollum. Underneath the rim, reverse. Count the basket, and Demary's going to go to the line.
Crafty move by Demary. Change of pace. Right there, gets the look off. Turn the corner by looking off the defense with his eyes, and nice finish in traffic. Dogs bench up and active, trying to manufacture their own energy. Georgia Tech has had this building rocking the last 5 minutes.
J.V. McCollum picks up his 4th foul. And Demary completes the 3-point play. He's got 9.
And McCollum, he's a guy that, you know, there's not a lot of guys on their Tech roster, late clock, can take the ball and go with it and manufacture a play. So that 4th foul is going to hurt.
He's picked up 3 in this half, including that offsetting technical in the first minute when he and Godfrey, big part of Lawrence, were going at it. Terry curls in, kicks out. O'Brien, butter.
Well, that was good. 2 ball reversals, and the result is a paint touch, a kick out for the 3 for O'Brien. Couldn't ask for a better possession if you were the Yellow Jackets.
Yellow Jackets now 4 of 7 from 3 in the second half. Lawrence denied by Ndongo. And the finger roll from LeFew. That was beautiful.
First team All-MAC selection at Mount St. Mary's last season. Led the MAC in minutes played. Under 36 minutes per game. He's a guy with a ton of experience. And he's showing it right there, stepping up for the Dogs.
Nice shot with the 9, Nate George basketball out by LeFew as well. It's in the hands of the freshman, Mustaf. In some trouble, looking for help. 2 seconds on the shot clock. Terry's got to go. And the rebound corralled by the Jackets. Lunging effort from Ndongo.
Coach Stoudemire saying, let's reset. Let's reset. Need a good one. One possession game. Every possession matters, Wiley.
Ndongo nearly loses his footing. And with 4 seconds to shoot, it'll be Georgia Tech basketball when we return. It was a bit of a slog in the first 20 minutes. Things are getting very
out of the ball. On the other side, if you're Georgia, keep attacking, you know. Players with foul trouble have a tendency to be a little conservative defensively. They don't want to pick up the fourth, so you might get some easy buckets if you're in attack mode into the paint.
Alley-oop towards the rim. Ndongo can't control it, and Georgia's got it. So R.J. Godfrey's got a rip in his jersey. I think that says he's playing physical tonight. Newell. And back up top. Kick out. Demary couldn't handle the pass. Tough hanging shot. No. Dogs with the rebound, and Newell with the jam.
Godfrey banging and frees up space for Newell, the 6'10", 6'11" freshman, 5-star recruit. Cleaning up with the dunk.
George, a little hesitation. Three clangs off the front of the rim.
You're right, he hesitated just a second, a little flat on that. Oh, that's gonna be a charge.
And Newell bowls over Mustaf. Setting plenty of time.
Nice play by the freshman. Taking one for the team, Mustaf. All the contact outside the holding circle there. The freshman was trying to get to the rim at all costs.
Meanwhile, Coach Stoudemire trying to give Baye Ndongo a breather. Onwuchekwa comes in to replace him.
Second half of play, the Dogs just 5 of 14 from the field, 0 of 4 from beyond the arc.
Still have not hit a three tonight.
It's been a different Georgia Tech team in the second half. They're 50% from the field at 6 of 12. They got 4 triples, shooting 45% from beyond the arc. That's been the difference, allowing them to get back into it. And we're going to get an offensive foul on Mustaf now.
He is a downhill guard. That's his game. R.J. Godfrey. He does look like a football player out there. He's got the ripped jersey, the physique, the style of play.
I love his game. I love what he brings, man. Energy on both sides of the floor. If you're assigned to him, you're going to battle, you better bring it. You better lace up.
They want to bring a chest protector. Lawrence down the left side, and Onwuchekwa hacks him.
And Coach Stoudemire singling in. Come on, stay vertical, man. Stay vertical. He's putting 2 hands up. Onwuchekwa was 6'11", and he swats down with the right hand, and that's what we call a bailout. Nice job by Georgia, putting pressure on the defense.
That's now 3 fouls on Onwuchekwa. Georgia Tech is a team with 20 fouls. Georgia was 16.
Lawrence coming into this game tonight, averaging 11.7, 73% free throw shooter. He's logging 30 minutes a game. He's a big part of this team.
That Baye Ndongo rest was about 25 seconds on the game clock. He's back in. That one rattles out. Kwesi Reeves back on the floor for Georgia Tech. Played just 2 minutes so far in this half. Georgia Tech's leading scorers. And Terry's pass is picked off by Lawrence. And his foot's on the line. Good recovery by Nate George.
Georgia Tech dodged one there. See if you can capitalize.
Georgia wants the shot clock reset, saying that Lawrence never had possession, which I think is accurate.
Yeah, I would say so.
Currently reads 30. Lee Cassell and his crew working it out. They're going to take a look. See if the shot clock should have
Previous
been
plays
reset.
under review to correct the shot clock.
And a lot of time spent at the monitor tonight, John. And some of it's been for the physical play.
This crew's been great. I mean, they've been consistent on both sides of the floor, letting them play. It's a rivalry game, but I believe they've been fair. They've made the right calls, and they're using the monitor to get the job done the right way. Three professionals.
The shot clock will be reset to 12 seconds.
They got it right again.
Lawrence did not have possession. Coach Mike White told us before the game this is by far their biggest challenge this season. Got a lot of respect for Georgia Tech. And since that series moved from the Omni, John, in the mid-90s back to campus sites, this has been a series that's been dominated by the home team. 75% of the games since the Omni era have been won by the home team.
It's a home court advantage, and we've heard it tonight.
Yes, we have. Lacey Reeves, 5 seconds to shoot. George attacks, goes up, and somehow gets towards the rim, and they're going to get basket interference there on Doryan Onwuchekwa.
Doryan, you got to let go of that rim on the left side. Good hustle, but hanging on the rim.
Georgia's bench wants a tech. And it will be a technical on Onwuchekwa. And that's going to be his 4th foul.
Oh, Coach Stoudemire, just look at frustration. The only way you could hang on it, and that is for protecting your body, and there was no one underneath them, so not much of an argument on that possession. Freshman's got to let go of the rim right there. You know, it was like 1.5 seconds.
Yes.
Stoudemire might have an argument. It wasn't an excessive celebration of anything, really. I mean, tough break. I mean, maybe let go of the rim at 0.5 seconds earlier if you're Doryan. LeFew knocks down a pressure free throw.
Bill head of the bench, Blue Cane back in.
Solid minutes for LeFew, veteran 4-year player at Mount St. Mary's.
Had over 1,000 points.
170 plus triples. Score beyond the arc and getting to the rim. More importantly, he's been in big games. He's been in tight games, and that's the value he adds in this one tonight. Now that's 22, 23 years of age, and he's not going to flinch down the stretch, so he'll get his rest.
Onwuchekwa stays on the floor with 4 fouls. George lofts it down to Ndongo. He goes up and hit it. Lawrence the rebound. 6-0 run for the Dogs over the last 3 minutes. The feet of Newell.
That's Terry doing a nice job scrambling defensively.
Nothing easy right now for either side.
No, both teams competing hard.
A 3 for Newell. He got it! Splash, and the drought is over. Georgia now 1 for 15 from 3, and it doubles their lead.
Asa, supreme confidence. He called for it and launched it. Big shot, timely bucket for the Dogs. They're up 6.
And Ndongo answer for the Jackets. Godfrey shuts him down. Shot clock getting short again. George and Ndongo miscommunication.
Gotta let it fly.
And you can see Onwuchekwa holding back a little bit on that rebound, knowing he's got 4 fouls. Newell's got it. Off to Lawrence. And count the basket! Tyron Lawrence finishes through contact.
He met Wasey at the Wasey Reeves at the rim and won the battle. Georgia up 8. We'll be back. Kremnitz Court. Big time finish at the bucket. Wasey Reeves there a little bit too late. Dogs in control.
Free game. one of the reasons Tyron Lawrence wanted to come to Georgia.
Yeah, that's a big deal. I mean, Jonesboro, just 15, 20 miles south of here. I'm sure he has family, friends watching tonight. Pretty cool story to come home and play your last year of collegiate ball.
So he hits the free throw, lead back up to 9, and Javian McCollum is back on the floor for the Yellow Jackets. 4 fouls, so he and Onwuchekwa have no margin for error with their 4 fouls. McCollum, step back 3, short, and Newell wins the rebound over Ndongo. Bulldogs.
And that's really where the momentum changed. We said it when McCollum went to the bench. Georgia Tech got a little stagnant offensively.
And what a throwdown! Newell on both ends of the floor, grown man body. And now we got a foul coming up the floor. It's going to be on Blue Kane.
Asa Newell, what a tremendous talent. Well above the rim. Nice assist on that play. Newell now with 14 points in this one. He's got 7 boards to go with it.
So 1-1 for Baye Ndongo. Beg your pardon, Javian McCollum. As you said, he's a terrific free throw shooter. These are important.
And they needed the 5-star guy to come up big. He's stretched the floor with the 3, catches the alley-oop dunk. Breathing confidence into the Bulldogs.
Sinks the first.
McCollum's a superb free throw shooter, was above 90% last season at Oklahoma. This year he has 1 miss from the free throw line on the season.
Now can Georgia Tech defend their paint?
Oh, showing a little zone. They got to switch it up.
We have not seen a zone hardly ever under Coach Damon Stalemate. Didn't play it at all last year.
Yeah, but by the percentages, if you play the percentages, there's no one on the floor right now for the Dogs that's over a 40% three-point shooter on the season.
But Silas Demary, he found a soft spot. Lead back to double digits. Georgia's hit their last 5 shots. McCollum, Ndongo tries to save it, and a contest in the air saved by Terry. Zipped inside, Ndongo the jam!
Oh, Asa took one on the chin. Ndongo gets the best of that one at the rim.
Those two are gonna go at it here last 6.5. What touch from Surreal. Bulldogs wanted a foul.
Oh, great concentration. He took some contact around the waistline and had the concentration to finish at the cup.
Terry curling inside. Count the basket. Lance Terry knifing through. Both teams just taking it to each other right now.
Yeah, Terry right there. Good first step. Uses the body. The veteran guy. Explosive. Again, he sat out last season. He was Tech's 2nd leading scorer 2 seasons ago. And he played 3 years at Gardner-Webb, was a star player there. So, veteran guy, and he wants to win this one. He's competing as a local guy, family from College Park, just south of the city. He brings toughness to this team, athleticism, versatility, and he's very good on the defensive side of the basketball.
Georgia struggled to shoot most of the night. They've hit their last 6.
Committed to the zone. We'll see.
Both teams struggling shooting tonight till recently. Luke Kane pulls the trigger. Oh, it won't fall for him. Luke O'Brien bringing up the floor, loses his footing. And the loose ball ahead to Blue Kane. And he gets it down.
Credit Blue Kane. He misses the 3. Stays with it, active hands, forces the deflection, and is the recipient of the pass. The turnover based on his hustle.
Now 14 points off turnovers for Georgia, plus 7. And Kane again getting in the passing lane.
One time, 10-point game right here. O'Brien, bad luck, but Kane gets after it. Wins the 50-50 ball, and then he gets the easy layup at the rim. Georgia up 10, 5:22 to play. Georgia Tech is in the bonus. Georgia in the bonus.
Lawrence and Surreal get a breather for the Dogs.
See that points off turnovers, right? 7-point advantage for the Dogs.
Terry, bounce feed to Ndongo, who goes up and he'll go to the line.
The third foul on Asa Newell, I believe.
You're going to give it to Godfrey. They're both in the area.
So 3 on Godfrey. 19 personal fouls on this one for the Dogs, 21 fouls for the Yellow Jackets.
It has been a physical game. Ndongo hits the first.
Ndongo's been perfect from the line. He's 5 for 5. Georgia Tech 12 of 16 for 75% from the stripe today.
Georgia Tech opting to go a little small here as Nate George comes in for Onwuchekwa.
Yeah, they'll have McCullum and George out there, kind of 2 point guards on the floor that can push tempo. Again, 5 minutes left, trailing by 8. You're in the double bonus. You got 2 guys that can attack, put fouls on the defense. Kane with a nice curl off that down screen action.
Ooh, getting physical. George Godfrey. Terry goes down, wants a call, doesn't get it. 8 seconds to shoot. Demary rejects the ball screen and bowls over. Terry's called for the foul.
Lance Terry stepping up, moving his feet, staying active. Michael White not happy with that call. We'll get a look at it here. We'll see if he gets set. It's the lowering of the right shoulder right there. And Lance Terry does a nice job taking one in the chest, taking one for the team. Trying to manufacture some offense here for Georgia Tech. Down 8.
4th foul on Demary. And John, it almost feels like that first minute there in the second half and things got a little tense, set the tone. What we've seen the last 15 minutes. Probably going to see the rest of the way. McCollum with some space, takes it and lays it home.
Oh, that was a nice job. Ndongo faked the ball screen, cleared the entire left side of the floor, and McCollum's put the Jets on, finished.
Kane, a 3, drains it, Blue Kane.
Wow, in a night where he was 0 of 3, the mental toughness to just take that one and drop it. Big 3 for the Dogs.
Well, Coach White said he is confident those shots would fall for Kane eventually. Georgia Tech turns it over. Bulldogs chance to get it to double digits as we approach the 4-minute mark. Lawrence goes up, dumps off Godfrey, count it.
What a play. The ball screen action, the roll to the rim, and the mind to find the open man. Godwin catches into traffic, finishes. Georgia in control, up 11. Chance to go up 12 when we come back. Blue Kane, a big part of the offensive attack, and Godwin, the muscle at the rim. We'll be back at Krementz Court in Atlanta.
Doryan Onwuchekwa, who's on the bench currently, has 3 fouls. That technical was not supposed to count as a person. But Godfrey at the line. This is the free throw, and McCullum seizes the rebound. Yellow Jackets need another run. Terry curling in, no, Ndongo can't put it back, and here come the Dogs in transition. Lawrence looking, takes it himself. He's got a couple free throws coming.
Again, attacking the rim. Points in the paint. They didn't get the finish, but the ability for Georgia. No one stops ball. He gets inside the holding circle and the foul. Have a chance to go to the line and earn them. And again, this is a guy with a wealth of experience. He's not going to flinch down the stretch.
Lawrence now with 5 points. One other number, John. Georgia Tech has just 1 point on the fast break. Coach White told us transition defense was going to be key, and they have shut the Jackets down. 3.5 to play, 12-point game. Who can Georgia Tech go to? And a turnover. Here comes Blue Kane. He jams it down.
Oh, Lance Terry tried to run him down. Blue Kane turns it over. The explosion took off.
Terry weaves in. What a take by Lance Terry. Georgia Tech needed it in the worst way.
Took some contact there early on in that one, too. Great concentration.
Yellow Jackets have got to have stops. Georgia content to kill a little clock.
Yeah, the clock right now is Georgia Tech's enemy. They're going to have to force tempo.
And wide open LeFew, a jailbreak.
Oh, they went with a 1-4 high set, cleared the entire backside of the defense. Georgia Tech, everyone caught hugging their man. Wide open layup. Yeah, he's just an enforcer on both sides of the floor. He just breathes confidence into his teammates. How do you make your teammates better? Well, you got a guy like him. He's gonna hustle. He's gonna dive on loose balls. He sets great screens. He takes care of the basketball. He contests shots. All the little things that you want in a winning DNA team. He delivers.
Terry takes it to the hole. Another scoop and finish. Lance Terry's finding a way. But still a 12-point game. The Jackets employ the full court press.
Yeah, they're gonna do a little run and jump.
And Coach Mike White wants timeout. Georgia up by 12. Back in a moment inside McCamish Pavilion. Well, Lance Terry's done his part here in the second half, John. Didn't score in the first, but he's got 10.
Yeah, and he's done it, you know, attacking the basket with flair. He's had some pretty finishes. He's an explosive guard. Again, he's a veteran guy. Means a lot to this team. Even if the Jackets don't come out on top of this one, they got a steep climb. Terry's a guy that he's shown tonight late in the game. He can step up, he can go off the bounce. In a game where McCollum had foul trouble, he might be a guy with the confidence he gets from tonight to make some big plays late in games off the bounce.
Demary. Five seconds to shoot. Demary, a three, a dagger.
That's a big time three. And now it's game of mathematics. You're gonna have to start firing some threes, fouling, stopping the clock if you're Georgia Tech.
And magnetic for Lance Terry, it drops. McCollum with a steal. He goes up. Count the basket.
That makes it interesting. Not much time coming off the clock there. You get a three and then an and one, so 6 points in about 3 seconds is the miracle you're going to need to build off of. You're going to have any shot to win this one if you're the Jackets.
McCollum still with 4 fouls. No reason to hold back.
Tremendous free throw shooter too. So you make it, you get set in your defense, run and jump.
3-possession game. Demary to inbound. And Lawrence fouled by Lance Terry.
And Lawrence, a guy that was 8 of 11 from the free throw line at 72% coming into this one. And today, from the line, he's 3 of 5.
A little commotion after the whistle was blown. There's Terry, and then down towards near the basket, Ndongo. What do you think, John? Nothing?
I don't think so. I mean,
Lawrence at the line, he hits it. Tyron Lawrence.
That's what matters right now in the game. If you can step up to the line and knock your free throws down, you're going to seal a nice road victory if you're the Dogs. Pay attention to what matters. This is what matters right here, not the nonsense around knocking the ball. You've got to have the mental toughness to make those winning plays down the stretch.
Tyron Lawrence, quite a legacy here in Georgia. Won a state title back in high school in the state. Comes back in his final year of basketball, and he's leading the Dogs as they're knocking on the door of a win over Georgia Tech. J.D. McCollum hits the 2, still a 9-point game.
Lance Terry's given everything he can to this one to just, for Yellow Jackets, have a shot.
And Nate George wanted the steal. It's going to be a foul on Luke O'Brien, though, and he's going to be out of the game. That's his 5th.
Wasn't Nate George's night, but I love what he brings to this team. Had a tough night from the field, 0 of 5 from 3. He was just 3 of 14 from the field. But he is a leader. What are we looking at here? Wiley. O'Brien with the contact riding. Here comes the trap.
I don't know, what do you think, O'Brien or George there?
Well, O'Brien's taking a seat, so.
Well, I know.
Doesn't really matter what I think.
That's tactical, fair enough. Fair enough.
Oh, man.
Silas Demary at the line. Yeah, in the win over Georgia Tech last year, Demary had 8 points, 7 rebounds, but had by far the best plus-minus.
This is a Georgia team, Michael White coach team, defense and rebounding. They held the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets at 36% from the field. Won the battle of the boards. +6 advantage on the boards.
Back to 4 possessions. Find something crazy.
And Silas silences the Tech crowd. That's 16 points. He was huge down the stretch for the Dogs.
Final minute here. Georgia Tech's got to go. Go down to Ndongo. And lunging for it, Tyron Lawrence, as Onwuchekwa decides to let it go, and it'll be Georgia Tech basketball.
I love the hustle by Tyron Lawrence.
Here in the final minute, Tech fans heading for the exit. Bulldog fans getting the full throat. Terry, a 3. The rebound, Ndongo, now to Onwuchekwa. And he makes the basket. Stands for the 3-point play, but ultimately, John, they could not get the stops.
And most importantly, leadership. He has a maturity about him, the way he carries himself. Again, wasn't on the floor a lot in the second half here. There was some matchup that Georgia Tech had to address, had to put some size in there and some shooting.
Rebound controlled by Demary. Lawrence trying to get it across. A wild pass down to LeFew. And Georgia Tech will continue to foul McCollum, his 5th. Will knock him out of the game. But the Bulldogs poised to move to 4-0. And this will give them 2nd straight win over Georgia Tech, and now 7 out of the last 9. Timeout on the floor here after, or I should say not timeout, but after the 5th foul. Jackets get a chance to huddle up. What toughness displayed by Georgia. They had an 8-point lead that vanished in a matter of minutes of the 3-point barrage. And since then, John, I think they've been the more physical team.
Yeah, absolutely. And they've got a healthy balance of size, athleticism. I mean, you throw Newell, Searle, and Godfrey on your front line, that's as strong as they come in the SEC. And 2 of the guys are young, they're only going to get better. But that length, that size, that physicality, and you surround them with veteran guards. LeFew, a guy that's 23 years old, 4 years of college experience. Demary, Kane is now a mature sophomore. They got some pieces. I think 3-point shooting is an area that they're probably going to see a lot of zone this year. They've got to find a way where they can knock down some more triples. 3 of 18, 16% from beyond the arc. So I know that's an area where on some nights you're not going to have your way in the paint. You're going to be knocking down the perimeter shots.
A foul on the floor, and I do think you look at a guy like Blue Kane, who last year hit 53s, shot 35%. He hadn't quite found his stroke yet. You've also got LeFew, who they brought in this year. He was top 10 the Metro Atlantic Conference in three-point percentage. They got some guys who can shoot it. Just, I mean, LeFew, to be fair, was shooting 50% coming in tonight. He just didn't have it tonight.
Sure.
But Georgia picked to finish 12th in the SEC. You got some pretty big monsters at the top: Alabama, Auburn, Tennessee. But like you said, defense travels, and if they continue to play this physically, you got to like their chances. Meanwhile, for Georgia Tech, John, what do you think the takeaway is from tonight?
Well, it was your first, Big Four power conference game. I think the level of competition, the physicality, the athleticism, it's good to see this early on. It's only going to get stronger as you get into ACC play. But they battled. They came back, fought back from behind, took a lead. And credit Georgia, they withstand the punch and found a way to stretch it.
A foul there on Lawrence, 7-point game.
It's not over. I mean, 20 seconds. It's still over, but never want to get ahead of yourself.
No.
Crazier things have happened.
You want to talk about a tale of two halves, John. These two teams combined to score 46 points in the first half. They have each scored at least 46 points by themselves in the second.
Yeah, what a night. Jekyll and Hyde. No, you knew once the guys settled in and they got a feel for each other, the energy in here picked up, pace of play really picked up, and then the perimeter shooting was, ice cold in the first half. I mean, there was 1 3 made in the first half and 19 misses. I think both teams can experience success this year in the SEC and ACC. Again, these are deeper leagues, deeper conferences, more teams added through expansion. Two good-looking ball clubs, and a lot of these guys have been through the war, so experience matters.
Lance Terry putting on a show in the second half. He has now scored 19 points in the second half. That's the amount of points that Georgia Tech scored in the first half as a team.
And I'm sorry, Mr. Terry, I got to eat my words, because I was saying with McCullum out, Tech would struggle with a point guard or guard going off the bounce, late clock, and Lance Terry, I mean, he just made me eat my words. 19 points, 7-11 from the floor, took some contact, finished strong. He's a guy who definitely can go off the bounce.
Georgia Tech continuing to hang around here. 11 seconds left, 6-point game. At some point, Georgia Tech needs a steal.
Bulldogs shot 61.5% from the field in the second half.
Georgia Tech's got a foul, and it's Soare who gets Silas Demary.
Make one of these free throws, it's a 3-possession game. Pretty much that's all she wrote. If you miss, Tech bangs a 3, there's a chance.
Demary on the season shooting better than 85%. 3 for 3 tonight. And that goes. And Demary points to the sky.
Good return in piece. He averaged 10.5 points per game last season.
22 points against Kentucky last year. Big performance against top 10 opponent. And he will lead Georgia with 18 points tonight. Terry one more time to the hole, the kick out. Onwuchekwa backs up for a 3. It's short. And this year, the bragging rights belong to the Bulldogs. 77-69.